Good morning, everyone. This is Katie with NLFX Professional, and I have Joel Ross here with us with Ultimate School Dance and R&J Event Production, and we are going to be talking about quite a few different things today. So, Joel, why don't you tell me, who are you, what do you do, where are you from, how'd you get to where you are? Let's start with who are you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Joel Ross, and I own RJ Event Production and partner up as well with Ultimate School Dance that's located here in Orlando, Florida, and Texas as well.
Perfect. So, Joel, how did you become, owner of RJ Event Productions and partner with the Ultimate School Dance? How did that unfold?
Well, how it unfolded, actually it started when I was 13. My parents said, what did I want for my 13th birthday? And I said, I want a DJ setup. So from there, I started getting into the DJ industry. My first wedding was when I was 16. And then it kind of unraveled. Didn't have a name established because I'm originally from New York. So we started more sound entertainment over there in New York. And then once I became married and had my wife, we moved down to Florida. So we wanted to be in the event industry here as well. So I converted more sound into the rental side of the company, and we became RJ Event Productions because we combined her initial and my initial together.
Very cool. So how did you become partners with the Ultimate School Dance? How did that kind of unfold from RJ Event to doing? Are you exclusively school dances, or do you do other types of events as well?
We do other types of events as well.
But so you have Ultimate School Dances. How do you? Let's talk about how you got into the Ultimate School Dances.
So what happened is, as everybody knows, Brandon Stewart. So me and him became friends, and we wanted to separate the wedding side to Ultimate, to the school dance side. So basically what happened was that we started seeing kids nowadays, they say, oh, we've been having wedding DJs. I don't want no wedding DJ at my prom. Most likely they want a club DJ or stuff like that. So we separated our independent company, and as one, we became Ultimate School Dance. And that's how we have just for schools. So only schools goes to Ultimate School Dance, and we just came about that, I'd say about 4 years ago.
So how do you market to the schools in your area? Because I know it's really hard to get in with schools sometimes. So how do you rope them in? How do you get to be the DJ for the particular schools?
So depending the state, some states you have to be registered for the school and then just have connections. And also what really works very well is marketing. So if you send them your press kits, either you go in person or by email. And, you just show them photos and video. As long as you have that and people see you and everything will go. And also word of mouth. So if you do one school, they'll talk to another school and you keep growing.
So when you go and bring your materials into the school, are you talking to the principal, or are you talking to the prom committee? Who are you reaching out to?
It'll be to the prom committee, which is called SGA, which is Student Government Association. There is the one that have the final say to say, oh, I want to hire you or not. So basically, if I can't get a meeting with them personally, I would just leave them with the principal, or at least at the front desk. I make sure they have it with them by the time homecoming and prom comes along.
Perfect. So, Joel, have you always wanted to be in the entertainment industry? Where I know you said when you were 13, you asked for a DJ setup, but prior to that, what made you want to get into it? Were you like watching MTV and you're like, I want to do that? How did you get into wanting that first DJ setup?
Well, I've always been fascinated by lighting, and my uncles, they're in the music industry, so I always had that in my culture with my family. So I always said that I want to make the difference in somebody's life. So everything started where I was doing clubs actually when I was 18. But once I started, 13, that's when I was from 13 to 16, I was practicing basically getting all my music correct. I started out with turntables, and what I said, I was like, well, I wanted to grow, I want to do more. So if let's just say if it wasn't because of the help of my wife, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So like she helped me on along the way after we were, I say like in our 20s, that's when we started like going and putting everything together.
Looks like Greg says hi. Hi, Greg. So Joel, my next question for you, since we're sticking on the school dance subject, is what is one thing that you should never do at a school dance?
Well, always, for example, never. That's a hard question. So I guess always do what they say. Don't take it upon yourself and think that, oh, they hired me, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Always cater to your client. I find out that people, for example, like they'll tell you, oh, we don't allow smoke machines. And some people bring it anyways. Like there was a case like about 7 years ago where kids, they brought a smoke machine, but we had a haze machine. So they thought that was a mixed confusion. So I would just say, just make sure everything is cleared up and you don't do what you're not supposed to be doing.
So Joel, a little more about some personal stuff about you. What is your personal favorite genre of music? I know, on that same note, play what they want to hear, cater to your client, but in your free time, what do you listen to? What's your favorite genre?
Well, I have a Latin background, so I go between like Latin and American music. So my favorite genre is the Spanish culture that's called bachata.
Okay.
So that's my go-to. But for the English side, I would have to say hip hop.
So do you play a lot of those at the school dances or at weddings? I mean, are the schools and weddings that you're doing mostly Latin based, or do you have American? Is it a good mixture?
Yes, it's a good mixture. We have both.
Perfect. So my next question for you, Joel, is what is the best business advice that you have ever received?
Don't let your ego get ahead of you.
So check yourself.
Yeah.
It says Angie was playing some bachata yesterday in the warehouse.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
So, Joel, what was your favorite thing to do as a kid? I know that you wanted to get into DJing at 13, but before that, like, what did you want to do? Like, we all have our dreams as a child. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Firefighter.
A firefighter?
Yeah, like I was a volunteer. I was a junior firefighter when I was 14 and became a volunteer at 16. and I still am till this day, but that's back in New York. So that's always been in my like blood. So I have a tattoo that has my fire sign on it too. So
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
cool. How long ago did you move to Orlando from New York? Well, I missed that.
back in 2010.
Okay. Looks like Greg says reggae in, I don't even know how to say that word, Greg. Mumbattan?
Mumbai.
I don't know what that is, unfortunately.
Well, it's a type of reggae mixed with a Spanish vibe. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I like reggae, so Joel, you're also doing a webcast. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, yes, we have a webcast every Thursday at 7 o'clock on my channel, and basically what we have is different people. We have DJs, we have photo booth companies, we have different people in the industry talking to them. With everything, I wanted always to do something like this, but since we never had time before COVID, so now I'm glad that everybody is starting to open back up little by little, and I know that we'll get back 100% eventually. And I know, but here we have everybody talk about the industry. If it's a private company, we talk about them. For example, like last Thursday, we had a photo booth company, and they talk about a option that they have, which is with the props, that's hands-free props. So that's a feature that everybody can look in as well.
So did they, I'm just curious for my own knowledge, but the hands-free props, is that due to the pandemic? That's something they're doing new, or is that something that they've always been implementing?
They were working on it, but once COVID hit, then it just went out because people start, like, for example, like 3 weeks ago, I had a client that said, "Oh, I don't want to use props. Do you have something to offer me?" So I told her about that offer, and we booked them on the spot. Because I know people now, they're gonna be like, "Oh, like I don't want to touch nothing." So basically, what's gonna happen? Everybody can choose that on the iPad.
So are you currently doing events right now?
Yes, we started back June 5th. So June 5th was a small wedding, but our next wedding, now that we opened up phase 2, we have about 50 people that can go into events.
So with the side where you are doing school events, do you plan on streaming those or incorporating any of the virtual aspects that we've all been working on for the past couple months? And if so, how are you planning on doing that?
Yes, well, we have, as you see, I'm in my office now. So on our warehouse side, what we're going to be doing is streaming. We have one school that wants us to do a stream type of graduation, but what's going to happen is, that's going to be private. So basically, we're setting up our studio where we can do private events if they want to do streaming type until we can get more people above it.
Do you have any protocols set in place to protect yourself and your staff while you are getting back out and doing these events?
Yes, we definitely have protocols. We, with my staff, for example, always wear masks. We have hand sanitizers. We have wipes to wipe down anything, and also in the road cases as well that we use. That way, everything stays nice and clean, just in case anybody. And I say, if you feel that you have a fever or anything, just stay home and get better. But we also have a checkpoint where we have a wireless thermometer, so we can check that as well.
Perfect. So guys, if you have any questions, we have a few minutes left. Write them in the comments. So Joel, tell me 3 fun facts about yourself, something that people may not think when they look at you, or just anything fun and interesting about Joel Ross.
Fun and interesting. Well, I have people may see me quiet, but once I'm behind the turntable, I'm very energetic. so, so that's one. The other fun is obviously doing the first responder and firefighter as well. And just I love playing with my son, so that's what keeps me moving all day.
How old is your son?
3. He'll be 4 next year. He's
Oh,
3.
fun. So my son, when he was 2, like everyone told me about the terrible 2s and I was like dreading it. And then I realized when he was 3 that it's like the terrible 3s have nothing on the terrible 2s. Like he was such like the 3s were worse than the 2s. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like seriously, 3s were just so, oh goodness. How about for you?
I have to say he's good now, but the 2s were they get you. I was like always I was like always, oh my god, because me, I stay when my son doesn't go to school, I stay home with him. So the terrible 2s, I gotta say, is where it is.
Yeah, see, and for me, it was the 3s. The 3s are just so bad. How about you guys? If you have kids, let me know if you had a worse time, the 2s or the 3s. Because for me, it was the 3s. For Joel, it was the 2s. Let me know. I'm curious. Also, if you have any questions, write them in the comments. We will be monitoring them after the show. So Joel, my next question for you is, do you have like anything on your bucket list, the top 3 things on your bucket list that you want to do?
Skydiving.
Okay.
That's one of them. The other one is I always want to go to Paris. Yeah, those are my main 2 right now at this moment.
So traveling, you like to travel?
Yeah, me and my wife, we always love to travel.
What are some places that you have gone?
We've gone to the Bahamas, the Dominican Republic, and Cancun, Mexico.
Nice. Anywhere in the States? Do you like to travel the States or go out?
We travel out. Obviously, I've gone a lot to Texas and New York, obviously where I'm from. So my next thing is once the show starts, the showrooms start opening up like NAM and all that, definitely go to Las Vegas and California.
Right. So if you could have lunch with a fictional character, who would you have lunch with?
Fictional character. Let me see. That's a hard one.
Or how about anybody dead or alive? We could, if you could have lunch with anybody dead or alive, who would you have lunch with?
My uncle. He's passed actually. So.
Okay, and that your uncle's the one who got you into the entertainment industry.
Yes.
Very cool. So I have a few more questions for you. If you could tell your 13-year-old self with that first DJ system anything, what would it be?
Start saving money young.
Right? It's like the best advice ever. If only a 13-year-old would take it.
Yeah.
And then the final question each week, my son, who is 10, gets to ask the question. This week, before I ask it, I'm going to ask if you have any final thoughts.
Any final thoughts? Well, if you're a family man, always put your family first. I know business is there, but always put your family first and Yeah, always put your family first and just keep growing your business.
Awesome. So Jackson's question this week is, what is the best way to eat an Oreo cookie?
Well, the best way, always just take it off, lick, put it back, dunk it, and take it.
Okay, there we go.
There
All
you go.
right, that's it. Thank you, Joel, for joining me today. I do appreciate it. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. for another KatieCast. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on Instagram at NLFXKatie. And actually, tonight I will be a guest judge on DJ of the Year. So make sure you check out my Facebook page for the link. I'm super excited about it. So thank you, Joel. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And we will see you tomorrow.
That's it.